Here we go. Welcome back, everybody, to our weekly astro forecast. Astromadeus here to share and deliver the astrology of today and this week and what we have to look forward to. And since we last talked to you guys, we have all planets direct, all planets are a go. So this really feels like a sense of forward momentum. We have clarity. The words are starting to come back. There's always a shadow period after we finish a retrograde cycle. So we have a couple weeks where still doesn't feel totally precise and totally where we'd maybe want it to be in our communications. But the big deal is Spirit kind of took care of this subconscious purge that needed to happen, you guys. This closure that was kind of hanging on for a long time. And we decided it's time. It's time to cut cords. It's time to start something new. Aries season, the spring, the energy outside, the weather, everything is showing us that it's now. It's go time. And this is the moment. So where the hesitation comes, yes, it feels like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? But you have to do the motion. You have to do the thing in order to get further in your journey. We really have to see it as, again, that new moon in Pisces we had on the 27th really just showed us where we're still allowing toxicity in, where we're still overgiving, overextending, where we're still feeling like we're kind of in illusion of some, this delusion of things. And we can see that collectively, we can see that personally. And what I feel is positive about all of this Aries energy, you guys, is that it really is showing where everybody is at collectively and personally. Now, with Aries, we think about it being the first sign of the zodiac, ruling the head and consciousness and our body, our image, what we identify with, what we value, how we go about reaching our dreams, reaching our goals, taking action. And definitely there's this assertive energy. So having Pisces, Saturn, Neptune for as long as we did, you guys, we really learned to kind of, not speak up when we felt uncomfortable, not speak up when we felt something was off or not aligned or our intuition was telling us something. And we kind of learned to just sit with it or try to just, let it go, but it was still there and lingering. And now that we have Aries, Saturn, and Neptune, you guys, this is huge. So this is where we finish that 12 cycle of the zodiac and we're at Aries, and it's teaching us, who are you now? What do you identify with now? What do you value now? And how are you going to be asserting yourself? So there's a little bit of growing pains with feeling like we can't speak up, we can't share our needs. It's feeling a little hesitant there, but think about it. It's kind of relating it to being dormant for so long and feeling uncomfortable in using that voice. So there's a little bit of that uncomfortability, but we have to work through that in order to level up and really meet ourselves where we are frequency-wise and Aries-wise, right? Of doing it our way, but also respecting that other people are going to want to do things their way too. So that Aries energy is, now we learn the Aries way. Now we learn in a different flavor, in a different consciousness, a different frequency. And we're seeing everybody at these different spaces. And some are aligning and some are not. And we have to really listen this time. We don't want to continue that Piscean cycle of doing things the way that we did in the past. And also that South Node in Virgo of having to know every single detail and having to feel this sense of, I'm in control, I know everything going on. And Spirit right now is asking us to really let that go and be more in the space of, I'm not in control, I'm curious, I'm present, I know what I'm offering to the table, and meeting the moment in that energy. So we have this conjunction, this square happening on the 29th. I don't even have the date written down. But anyway, it's coming up, 27th, Moon in Cancer, square Chiron in Aries, you guys. So this is about this kind of tension emerging between our emotional safety and our identity, our individual identity, and the wounds around being assertive, the wounds around saying, actually, I have these needs and I'm not going to deny myself them, and then show up angrier and show up, dysregulated. It's about taking care of ourselves first, not in a selfish way, but in a way of, put the mask on first before you put the mask on, the child, right? In the freaking airplane when you're in that scenario. And it's like, that's what we have to think of it as right now, you guys, of just really checking our energy, checking our frequency, and really seeing this energetic shift. The veil has lifted. Pisces is starting to dissolve these realities that we've built up for ourselves. And now we're getting to the truth of the matter with things. And so this Chiron and Moon square that we're going to be going through this weekend, you guys, is really the feeling of being safe, of being ourselves around others. And we're seeing that maybe you can't around certain people, and maybe those people aren't meant for you. And so there's a lot of relationship dynamic happening right now, for sure, with all of this Aries, with all of this, I'm doing it my way. And we have to have space for meeting people where they are, and not directing our anger of whatever realizations we're going through, whatever frustrations or setbacks we're going through, not blowing up on people, really taking the time to regulate and see what's going on internally before we address the situation. So the veil has lifted, y'all. It is definitely feeling like we have to choose between protecting our heart and being fully seen. And it's a scary place to be, but I am your astrologer here, freaking cheering you on, saying, you guys got this, you can do this. It's a new space, it's a new energy, but try it out. It looks good on you. Give it your all. Think of this energy as something that you've been building up towards your whole life. And if there's a couple setbacks in the beginning, are you just going to give up and be like, I'm good, I'm going to try something else. That was too hard. There's a little bit of a fight happening, but are you going to fight for your dreams? There's still this Aries Pisces dynamic, which is the collective dream, this beautiful space of peace and calming and familiarity and, spiritual connection. And then Aries, where it's like anger and war and frustration and violence. And, these things come out of a place, like I said last week, it's coming from a place of fear. And we have to address these fears with grace. We have to be patient with ourselves, and we have to be patient with other people. Like I said, things kind of blow up, but it's also like there's room for repair if we can really come from the heart and really show people that, this is who I am now. This is who I am now, and this is what I require now, okay? On the 29th, on Sunday, you guys, we have the moon in Leo square Uranus and Taurus. So the moon in Leo, expressive, creative, outgoing. I want to be seen. I want to be heard and appreciated. I want to follow my heart. And then Uranus and Taurus. This is this energy of unexpected change when it comes to our comforts, our self-worth, our money, our possessions, our home, our family, our ties. And so it's this moment of, I can't keep doing things the same way. Uranus steps in and just disrupts things. It changes things. I have my moon in Capricorn exactly conjunct Uranus in my second house. So talk about knowing lessons of surrender. I know it looks messy. I know it looks chaotic, but this is spirit working its magic. And it's messy magic, but it's like, hey, thank you. And there's a lot of this energy of we don't even really have to take action. Spirit's going to have these scenarios and situations show up to clean, to purge, to work through. Like I said, that South Node in Virgo of to let go of perfectionism too and say, I'm human. I'm doing my best. I'm offering myself fully in this present moment. And really honor that for yourself. So yeah, some growing pains, you guys, this week. Really find that outlet, as these frustrations come up, as these growing pains come up, as these, ego deaths happen where we're seeing like, I don't want to do things that way anymore. I want to step into this new identity and this new role and this new energetic space. So you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here as always. It is so awesome to just keep reflecting with you guys and sharing the messages from spirit, from my heart, from the collective realm, you guys, and in this world that feels very messy and chaotic, but also it's changing into something beautiful, and we have to kind of, you know, just be patient with it and be patient with the dream. It doesn't happen in a day, you know, it takes time. But you got this, and just have that beautiful, strong self-belief that you've built over time and over your achievements. And it's kind of like, this is an anticipatory moment. I know April, you guys, April is going to be a little crazy. A lot of Aries energy, a lot of fire. So again, we have this moment with all this Pisces where it's like, okay, let's work on our emotions. Let's work on our heart space, on our subconscious mind, on closure, and really finding that beautiful alignment on all paths, in our work, in our home life, in our relationships, in friendship, all the different things. Okay. Thank you for being here. You guys are awesome. I will be back next week, as always, on Friday. And you know where to find me for personal readings. I am just about finished with the readings in my queue right now. Super excited to have some time to work on some projects I've got upcoming with Kyla. So excited. Also, not to mention her retreat. Kyla's Star Lady, Kyla's retreat is coming up at the end of April, you guys. So I'm going to be sharing more details about the Mars movement segment, where we're going to be meeting our Mars sign and really working with our natural body's rhythm and strength, and meeting ourselves where we're at, but also working with a little bit of that curiosity and really working with that, challenging ourselves to embody that further in our Mars placement. So you guys are great. Love you. And I will see you guys on the next one. Have a beautiful weekend and see you later.